Hello everyone, my name's Ash and I'm a longtime Sims 3 player. I've been hearing a lot about Paralives lately, so I've watched a bunch of trailers, I've seen people talking about the game on Reddit and the official Discord, and the more I see about this game, the more excited I'm getting about all of it. So I've been playing The Sims 3 basically since it came out in 2009. I've played all the other games in the Sims series as well, and I tried out Inzoid too, but Sims 3 is that game that I just always go back to. Something about the open world, the gameplay, and then the fact that you can customize basically everything in the game has just kept me hooked this whole time. I feel like to me, Paralives seems similar enough to things that I love about The Sims 3, like with the whole open world concept and color wheels and everything, but it's also got all these cool new things like resizable objects and the ability to build things like walls without a grid that just kind of adds something extra. Sims 3 is such a good game, but the build mode is kind of lacking, especially when you compare it to The Sims 4, and this is probably an unpopular opinion, especially for other Sims 3 players, but I'm actually not that keen on the Sims 3 graphics. I think the environment itself looks really beautiful, but I much prefer the Sims 4 kind of cartoony Maxis Match style for Sims and objects, and I think the Paralives looks amazing. All of the objects and the build mode are beautiful, and so is the world itself. I'm a bit less keen on the look of the actual powers, but I feel like once modders come out with custom skins, I'm going to be pretty happy with that anyways. Something that can be fixed, I suppose. I just feel like it's such a good mix of things that I know that I already love from The Sims 3 and then new features that I really want to try out, so I'm very excited about this game. My playstyle in The Sims is a mix between goal-oriented, so things like completing lifetime wishes and collecting all of the objects, but I also like a bit of chaos, a bit of your house burning down, locking somebody in a basement, but then I do also enjoy just straightforward, like plain boring family gameplay. Honestly, it depends on my mood. I don't usually spend a whole lot of time creating sims or building houses, but I definitely do that sometimes. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what the gameplay is going to be like in Paralives, and I'm especially curious to see if bad things are going to happen. So are there going to be negative consequences for doing bad things, or do unexpected negative things happen to your paras randomly? I feel like Sims 2 and 3 kind of had a lot more of those negative consequences, which made the game more difficult and kept it interesting as well. So I'm really hoping that Paralives has some things like that that keep it a little bit more engaging and unexpected. So the December 8th release is early access, so I'm trying to temper my expectations as much as I can, but so far from what I've seen, it looks really promising. There's a whole lot of features that are going to be in there for early access, and then things that are going to be added during early access. So for live mode, they're planning an open world town, day-night cycle, work, personality traits, emotions. Some of the things I'm excited for that are already on the list of things that are going to be there are house fires. Neither am a game that's necessary. Things like aging and death. I'm curious to see what the kind of death types are going to be, whether it's just old age or if there are some other things that can kill your paras as well. Shops and restaurants. I do want to know how that works. Like, is it going to be something where you can go inside, have a look around, you get to try on clothes and inspect things to buy? Yeah, curious to see how that's gonna work out. And it also says there's gonna be modding tools to add and edit the game's content. So I'm a Sims 3 modder, so I'm really excited to see this here. Apparently script mods won't be supported right away, so we're gonna have to see what happens with that one in the coming months. But it does look like we can add in custom content straight up. So once the early access drops, I'm definitely gonna take a look and see how we can add new things in and how easy or difficult that might be. Have a go at trying to make some custom content if I can. But yeah, I'm really excited to see that. They're going to be adding in boats and houseboats, which would be interesting. I know there was houseboats in The Sims 3 Island Paradise. I didn't use them a lot because they're a little bit buggy, but I'm keen to see how it's going to work in Paralives and like where you can take your houseboat. Like, do you get to actually take it to places? Where can it go? That's going to be really cool. Another thing as well is tools to edit and create towns. So this is amazing. We had Create a World for The Sims 3, and the custom towns are like one of those things that kept the game so interesting for so long. Yeah, there's so many amazing world builders out there that have built all these different styles of worlds, and even things like fairy worlds and fantasy worlds, so things for occults, which is awesome. I'm really excited to see how the tool works, if it's easy to use or not, and then also the towns that people are going to make. That's going to be really exciting. For build mode, obviously we've got the color wheel for everything, which I think a lot of people are excited for, especially if you're coming from The Sims 4 where you can't really recolor all that many things. But I'm really excited for the wall placement tools. Being able to make a wall not on a grid will be really cool because it's hard to recreate something when you're limited by like a 1 meter by 1 meter grid. If you can make stuff in between that grid, that's going to open up so many different options for different kinds of builds, which is so exciting. Object resizing as well, I guess coming from Sims 3 where we can't really increase or decrease the size of objects. This is going to be so much fun. Happy to have that one. And then during early access, they're going to be adding things like pools, advanced roof tools, stair tools, basements, all that kind of stuff. So that will be awesome. And in Paramaker, again, they're going to have a color wheel, which will be amazing. A height slider, which will be really cool. I do wonder how the animations will work. I'm guessing they've done some fancy coding to get that to work properly. Layering and mixing of tops. Asymmetry is an interesting one. So eye color, socks, I'm guessing makeup and facial features and all that kind of stuff is going to be included in that, which will be really interesting to see. I feel like custom content is going to be really interesting for this one as well, but I'm keen to see what the main Paralives game has by default for this. That's going to be fun to play around with. And plan to come out is creating pets in Paramaker as well, some more advanced tools for genetics, and more clothing items, hairstyles and accessories. So that'll be fun to go through when they drop new items. I'm excited for that. But yeah, there's so many different things that they've got on the list. Keen to hear what you guys are excited about as well. There's definitely a lot in here to explore, and I do wonder how long it's going to take to come out with many of these items. I'm definitely keen to see a lot of things like gardening and pets. But yeah, in addition to what we're getting in early access and what they've already got planned, they've also said that there's never going to be paid DLC, only free expansions, which is so refreshing, especially when you look at the 100 plus DLC for The Sims 4 that costs over like $1,000. Honestly, it's a breath of fresh air. I don't even know what to say to that. It's just amazing. I think that's everything I wanted to share for now. I just wanted to share why I'm so excited about the game. I'm definitely going to be making some videos once the early access version comes out, so if you're curious about the game or you just want to watch me see if I can burn down a house, feel free to stick around and we'll see what happens. But for now, thanks for watching. Bye everyone.